Good afternoon. I'm Luc Julia and I'm a VP of Innovation for Samsung Electronics. And this afternoon I'm going to talk about SAMI. That's a platform that we have been doing for the past 3 years at Samsung. That is a cloud platform. And I'm going to explain how it can be linked to Tizen devices and to any other device that we can have in what we call the IoT. IoT is all about interoperability of devices. It's about creating applications and services for those devices. And it's about making my life easier, my life simpler. I want to be able to control all the devices every day, all the time. In my home, in my car, for my health, everything. And I believe it's very, very complicated to have all those devices talking to each other with all the different protocols, with all the different ways they have to communicate. It's very, very complex to make all these objects talk the same language. If you are familiar with the Esperanto, which is the universal language for humans, you know that nobody knows about it and nobody talks Esperanto. So if we don't do it, it's going to be very, very difficult for devices to talk the same language. So basically, this is the main issue that we have in IoT. We need to fix that. And I think that the solution is to have all those devices interoperating through the cloud. Because of what I just said before, I really think that what I call downstairs here is hell for those devices to communicate. And I really believe that upstairs, the cloud, is paradise, is heaven. So now that I put this very simple principle together, I'm going to explain what SAMI is about. At the end of the day, all those devices that I'm talking about, all those devices that are working for me, that are working with me, it's all about data. It's all about the data that they are going to produce. It's all about the data that I'm going to send back to those devices in order to start them, to play with them. So, what we need to do, we need to be sure that we are going to collect the data, to transport the data upstairs, and then, when it's upstairs, to understand what the data means, what it means to have all those devices working together for you. So let's look a little bit of what it means for each of those things. First of all, collecting the data. We need to be sure that we can collect data from any device, any kind of data. Real-time, historical, doesn't matter. We need to be able to collect everything, anytime. We need to be able to collect any kind of data, if it's discrete data or if it's continuous data. Doesn't matter. And we need to be sure that the platform we are creating is going to be able to collect the data of devices of today, but also of devices of tomorrow. So it seems a little bit complicated to do, a little bit magical. But we are going to show you today how we can take any device and how we can send very, very simply the data coming from those devices upstairs and sending back some commands and controls to those devices. So let's talk about transportation very quick. Basically, we need to be agnostic. We need to be sure that we are going to be able to collect the data that I was talking about before through any protocol. We don't care if it's going to be 3G, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Z-Wave, BLE, you name it. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are talking about the Internet of Things. So all those things, they are going to send their data to the Internet. So, once it's up there, the good news is that we are going to be able to take all this data and to make sense of it. The good news about the fact that this data is going to be very diverse is that it's going to allow us to create some very interesting new applications and services. And really what it is that for people to understand what those services and those applications are going to be, we need to go from this big, massive amount of data that we are collecting to something that is going to be the insights that people are going to understand. We are going to go from big data to small data. We are going to deliver those incredible services and applications that we don't even think about today, because today, all those applications, all those devices, most of them, they are in their own silos. And they just deliver services for themselves. So now, the promise of what we are talking about today is that thanks to the gathering of all those diverse data, we are going to create some magical applications, some magical services. So, that's what SAMI is about. It's a cloud-based data exchange platform. It's where data is going to cross-fertilize between all the different silos. This is a place where the developers are going to create those new services and applications. SAMI is a developer platform. This is meant for you. This is a bunch of APIs, SDKs, tools, and of course, applications. Before I go too much, into the actual way we do things in SAMI, I want to talk very, very quick about our philosophy in development, in the way we apply this philosophy to ourselves to create SAMI. We are an agile shop, so we are trying to be as agile as possible, but we are not fanatics of agile technology. We try to make everything. So everything that we are doing, in terms of development, from the very simplest code check to the very large deployment, everything is automated. And if we do that, it's because we know that our platform wants to support billions of devices. So we need to be very rigorous about the ways we do things. And we use, as much as we can as well, all the latest technologies. It means that, for security, for deployment, for development, we use everything we see that might be beneficiary for the platform. So we get actually lots of kudos from other developers, and other communities. We are based in the Silicon Valley, so we are drinking a little bit of our own Kool-Aid, but this is, what other people are saying about us. So, just to say that this philosophy in development, we want to basically pass it to the developers that are going to use the platform as well. But before, or instead of talking, I'm going to show you how it works. And I'm going to actually create in front of you a new device that doesn't exist in SAMI. And I'm going to send data to SAMI through this new device. And we'll see if we can do some other things using some different tools that we have. So I'm going to do that live, so it means that there's a good chance it's going to fail. Let's see. So we should switch to the screen of my computer here. And if it's possible to see the actual window that I have there, it would be even better. Here it is. So, remember, it's a cloud platform. So everything happens upstairs, right? So all the tools, they're also up there. I'm going to start with a very simple thing. I cannot see it at the same time. Can I see it there so I don't have to, because it's going to be difficult for me to type otherwise. No, I can't. Can I see it on the screen there? All right, I'll start like that then. Okay, so the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a new device type. Okay, in this case, we are going to create a Tizen TV. Okay, and we'll see what the functionalities of this TV is going to be. We are starting in what is called the developer portal. So you are a developer, you are a hardware developer in this case. You're a hardware developer, you are going to start to create a hardware product. And you want this hardware product to be part of the SAMI family. So it's going to basically be able to send and receive data from SAMI. So I'm going to create this new device type. I'm going to call it Tizen TV. I'm going to give it a computer name. So I'm going to call it like that. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to make any description there, and I'm just creating the device. So what it does here, I think it's better with some internet connection. So let me start internet connection here. So let's see, do we have the device created? Yeah. So the device is there. And we can now, go to add some functionality. So basically, the main thing, when I was talking about the fact that we are going to ingest data from any device, any kind of data, any structure of data, it's because I know that in this tool, we are going to be able to describe any kind of data that we can, ingest with this device. I'm going to create what is called a manifest. A manifest is going to describe this device. It's going to describe the functionalities, and it's going to describe the states, basically. There are two types of manifests. There are the manifests that are the simple manifest. This is what I'm going to do now, because otherwise it's too complicated. And there are the other manifests. The other manifests are the ones where you can push the envelope a little bit more, where you can actually create very complex structure of data, and you can also do normalization. You can do, a bunch of manipulation on those data. And complex manifests, they are written in Groovy. So you need to be able to understand what Groovy does, to do that. So in this case, I'm going to create a new version of the manifest. I'm going to create a simple manifest, and I'm going to create a new stream, field name. In this case, my TV is basically going to be on or off. And the way I'm going to describe that, I'm going to say it's streaming, is streaming, and the is streaming is going to be a Boolean. Okay? So, and that's it. So I say that. Now I'm going to create actions. So I'm done with the actual states. I'm going to create an action. I'm going to create a bunch of actions actually. First action that I'm going to create, I'm going to call it set text. And the description, we don't care. I'm going to say it. I care. So set text is set text. Save it. Parameter. I'm going to pass some text. You'll see that there is some data types that already exist. I'm going to use it. It says that it's a string right away, so that's fine. So I have my set text. I'm going to create a new action. I'm going to call it set image. And set image, I'm going to do a description. And I'm going to save it. Parameter is going to be a link, a URL, and it's going to be a string. Okay, save that. I'm going to create a couple other actions. Set video, and I'm going to say that. Create a parameter. It's going to be called link, and I'm going to set the data type, save it. I'm just going to create the last one for this demonstration. Set volume is going to be the volume of the TV. Okay, so I save it. The parameter is going to be called volume, and it's going to be neat. Okay? Okay, so that's basically my manifest. So now, in about, I don't know if I didn't have you in front of me, I see that it would have taken something like 1 minute to create this new Tizen TV appliance. So, now that this device is created, it can be used by any SAMI user. So I'm going now to move to the SAMI user portal, where I'm going to have a user instantiate a Tizen TV. Okay? So I'm going to this user portal here. You see that this user has a bunch of devices already, but doesn't have a Tizen TV. So I'm going to add a Tizen TV device. And if everything goes well, when I start to type here, it should show me by default a new, it's going to come hopefully, I think that's a bit slow. Okay, show me the thing, please. Okay, still not there. Let me verify my internet connection here. I'm connected to Sheraton Banquet, so okay, let's see. Now it's showing something. Now, where is that? Here. Tizen. Hi, Tizen TV. So, I'm going to call it my Tizen TV. Right, so I'm going to connect the device. And basically what it does, it did create this new device for me next to the other devices that are there. Very good. So now, because it's a very secure platform, we are going to create a device token for this thing. And basically, I'm going to add some magic here. I'm going to look at the code, I'm going to bring that here. I'm going to look at the code here, it's going to be very challenging for me. But anyway, I'm going to try. So, I'm going to copy the device ID here. I think it's somewhere here. I don't see it very well, sorry. Okay, tell me if I'm not at the right place, okay? Okay, so it should be around here. Am I on the dash or not? Nobody tells me. Thank you, guys. Is the dash still there? Yes, no? The dash is still there. Okay, so I missed it. Okay, so now I copied the device ID, and I'm going to copy the device token. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm doing the instantiation of the device for this particular user. Is the dash gone? Okay, so that's it. I'm going to save this baby. Save it. Okay. I'm going to save the changes here for this user. So the device token is going basically to be available for this device. Now I'm going to start an actual TV. So in this case, I'm starting the beautiful TV simulator here. Aha. Okay. Okay. Simulator, TV. I'm going to change the remote because I don't like this remote. I like this one. And here, I'm going to start this Tizen TV for this particular user. So in this case, I'm just going to start this thing here. So now it's playing a show. It's a French show, as you can tell, because there is an Eiffel Tower. And I'm going to be able to interact with this TV. But I'm going also to be able to see the data that this TV is now sending to SAMI. So if I go to my list of devices here, and I go to my charts, I'm going to look at the data that is sent live from the TV to the net. So in this case, you know, I have no Tizen TV device. I'm going to add, so I'm looking for the Tizen TV device somewhere here, my Tizen TV, and I see that the e-streaming that I entered earlier is there. So I'm going to say, you know, tell me if it's streaming or not. So right now it's there, and I'm going to stop it here. And so what it should do, so it stops the TV. It tells me right away that I have some new data that is there. So I'm going to look at this new data by basically playing live the data coming, you know, from the TV. In this case, this streaming is false, right? So if I now push the play button again on this remote, now it's playing, and true is coming, okay? So you see that it's pretty fast. Remember, I mean, here we are talking about a cloud system, right? So it's up there. And you also notice that the values are the values that are being generated automatically. This tool that we have, which is this visualization tool that can visualize any kind of data of any of the structure that was talking about, it's, you know, generating the actual values on the fly. Okay, so now, very good. I'm able to receive the data. Now let's see if I can send the data. I created 4 or 5 different functions And we are going to see what they are doing and how we can play with them, and how we are going to be able to interoperate with other devices. Remember, if we are doing all that, it's because we believe that it's much easier to interoperate with the devices when all the interaction happens upstairs, right? So in this case, I'm going to start yet another tool, and this is the rule engine. In this case, for this particular user, I have 0 rule. So we are going to create some rules on the fly, and we are going to test them on this TV there. So to create a new rule, I guess that I push this big button here, and there are all my devices. And I'm going to say, okay, if my flame sensor on fire equals true, then I'm going to go to my Tizen TV. All those things were populated on the fly with whatever I put in my manifest earlier, right? So I'm going to say set video, and I'm going to specify a value. So here I'm going to take a URL that I already, copied somewhere. And yeah, I'm going to basically play this file. And by the way, at the same time, I want not only when the flame is going to be true, I'm going to show a video basically in addition on the TV, but I want also, let's see, I want the volume of the TV. So set volume to 0. And why do I want the volume to 0? It's because I want to be sure that when there's going to be a fire, I'm going to hear the siren. So the siren, in this case, this is a JSON command that it needs, so it's for the geeks. And I want this siren basically to be on. So it doesn't really matter, but we are just going to do it. Okay, so I just create basically this new rule, which is going to be called on fire. Okay, I say that. The engine automatically, the rule engine automatically understands, what I mean, and can describe this rule in a way that I just, did previously, which is my flame sensor is in fire. I'm going to send a video to my Tizen TV to set the volume off and to start a siren. So I'm interoperating between the flame sensor, the siren, and the TV. To be sure that, if there is no fire, I want this thing, to stop, I'm going to clone this guy, and it's going to be for when there is no fire. I'm going to stop to play this thing. So here I'm going to say my Tizen TV is going to play, sorry, I was here, is going to have a text that says we are good. And volume, put it back to whatever, 5. Okay, and the command, the siren is going to be off. Right, so basically here is going to be no fire. Alright, very good. So I should have this rule now being sent to the cloud, and we just need now to guess that you are all on the internet or something. Okay, soon it will be saved. Unless I did something wrong. Really? Floss doesn't exist. Yeah, okay, false. Oh, it wasn't, he did it 2 times. False. Yes, okay. So this time he's going to be happy. So you see as well that it's doing some kind of checking of the stupidity of the developer. Okay, so we have 2 rules now. Let's set the room on fire. So usually when I'm at this point, I have actually a device that I can start, and I start a fire in the room. Today I'm not going to start the fire in the room, I'm just going to emulate the fire. So what I'm going to do, I'm going just to test the command. So if everything goes well, when I push the test button, I should be able to see a video playing, and the volume, we don't hear very well the volume of the TV right now, but the volume will go down. So let's see if I test what is happening. So testing, I see right away on my TV, the video playing, and it's the video of the fire, and there is a sound of the alarm somewhere, and the volume of the TV went down. Here, in order to stop this thing, I'm going to turn this one on, and we're good. Okay? So, again, here what we are showing is that this device that we didn't know anything about, a few minutes ago, now we can totally interoperate with it and have any other device play with this as well. In order to show you something else very quick, I'm going to create a new rule that is going to be coming from my caller ID. So if the calling number is not equal to 0, you know what caller ID is, right? So this is the thing that shows in your phone if you want to answer on that. So I'm going to say that on my Tizen TV, I want to, yeah, this is where it shows the list. There it is. I want to show, and in this case, instead of typing, whatever it is, I don't know what it's going to be because it's coming from the caller ID. We have also what we call injection. Injections are going to be basically the values coming from another device can be shared with another device. So in this case, I want the text to be the value of the caller ID. And in this case, the calling number. So if the calling number is not empty, means that somebody is calling, then on the TV, in this thing here, which I'm going basically to remove now, there is a trick here, I can display the calling number. And I'm going to call it caller ID. Yeah, whatever. Let's see that I need to learn to type. Caller ID. Okay. And I'm going to save the rule. If everything goes well, I have a new rule there. I'm not going to test it with the test button, but I'm going to test it with a real call. So let's see, where is my mouse? Here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make a call to my phone that is linked to this account, and that should show, on the TV. So here we go. So I'm making the call. And here it is. So now I'm in front of my TV. I see that, this number is calling. Don't write it down, it's a fake number. And, I can decide if I want to take the call or not. Okay, so so now we saw basically that we're able to have those devices that didn't know each other, to talk to each other, thanks to the fact that they are sharing data at the cloud level. And we saw also some of our tools here. So we have the data tool that I was showing earlier. We have this rule engine, and we have a bunch of other tools for the developers that allow them to test the APIs real time, of course. So now we can go back to the presentation. We'll go back to the presentation soon. Here we are. And I want to talk about security. Everybody is talking about security and privacy because obviously it's very, very important. So in our case, we took a very, very simple stand with SAMI. We said that the data, all the data that I'm talking about that is converging towards SAMI from user accounts, they are not Samsung data, they are not SAMI's data, they are the users' data. And the users are the ones who are going to decide what are the applications and services that they want to share the data with. So this is a very simple principle. It doesn't prevent the aggregation of the data if it's being anonymous. Basically, the idea is that each user, each application, through their own end-user agreement, they will tell the user what they are going to do with the data. So we leave all the responsibility to the applications and to the users to decide what they want to do with their data. The user has the full control, okay? So this is our privacy stand. In terms of security, of course, we are using all the latest security protocol and security software that we have in our possession today. We believe that SAMI is as secure as your online bank account. And also what we have done an end-to-end device registration system that allows the hardware people to embed some kind of secure element in their device in order to be sure that it's going to have a very secure path of the data from the device to SAMI. I will come back to that in a minute. One thing that is very, very important is that all the tools, all the things that you saw before, the rule engine or the visualization engine, they are all based on APIs. So in the same idea that I was talking about before, that we are using some very simple principles in terms of development, we want to be sure that we are eating our own dog food. Means that everything we are doing is based on APIs. It means that everything that the developers will do are going to be based on the same APIs. It means that if those developers are creating a cool tool or a cool thing that we want to integrate in the platform, it will be very easy for us to do, because everything is going to share the same APIs. Okay? So if you happen to create some cool tools, let us know, because we'll be able to integrate them in the platform if you want to do so. We have a bunch of companies and individuals that are playing with SAMI today, and we have already some cool tools that have been developed, in something like machine learning or some other rule engines. So it's totally open, it's totally free, so people, are able to create those applications and those tools for the platform. This is the secure registration that I was talking about. Secure element, handshake. If it's secure, we are going to send the data to sender. Okay? We have two-factor authentication here. We can support 3-factor, 4-factor, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But it's up there. Okay? And same thing, open API. Everybody can use that. If you don't have a secure element, you can create a software secure element. So you can be creative, you can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's using those simple open APIs. I talked a lot about the APIs. I want to talk about the SDKs, both for the ingestion, so when you are going to send the data up, and for the consumption, when you are going to look at the data. We have SDKs in pretty much every language that you want to have, right? So we have iOS, we have Android, JavaScript, whatever, and of course Tizen. This is what we just saw in the previous demonstration. So, SAMI is available now. It's an open system, as I said before. It's something that you can use today. There is a lot of different tools, as I said. The best way is to play with it. You go to samsung.sami.io. There is a comprehensive documentation. There is a blog with a lot of examples in the different languages that I was talking about. There are a bunch of demos that are there as well, and you can, create on top of that, or create whatever you want directly from there. And I think I'm done. Yes. Thank you very much.